All right, what's going on, everybody? Willis here. We're back with another Marvel Rivals video. So I'm going to try and make this video as quick as possible. They've just released the full patch notes for pretty much all of the hero buffs and nerfs coming in Season 1. Yes, every single detail, every single hero. There will be timestamps in this video if you want to go to any specific hero. So yeah, just click through the video. And yeah, before we jump in, obviously we're going to be giving away some lattice. In this video, we're going to be giving away 2,000 lattice. Like the video, leave a comment, and make sure to subscribe to enter that giveaway. As well, we will be giving away the new battle pass for season 1, so don't miss out on that. All right, let's jump into the video. So it looks like the change for Rocket is Rocket could use a enhancement to his healing capability. So they obviously wanted to buff Rocket Raccoon. They've increased the healing of repair mode from 60 per second to 70 per second. So yeah, overall, Rocket just gets some more healing on his right-click healing alt fire. So yeah, little buff to Rocket. Next, we have Mantis. Now, Mantis in high elo is extremely strong. I think she's definitely one of the best strategists in the game. What have they changed with Mantis? So they're making Mantis a bit more fleet-footed, reducing her roaming support capability. They're reducing Nature's Favor, the passive, movement speed from 2.5 meters a second to 1.5 meters a second. So if you didn't know, Nature's Favor, you receive a movement boost when not injured and healing over time when consuming life orbs. So what's happened is it looks like they've nerfed Mantis to obviously make this movement boost just a tiny bit slower. So yeah, it looks like Mantis will be receiving a nerf. Next up, we have Luna Snow, everybody's favorite healer. Right, so Luna Snow, while we've enjoyed her dropping the base, we've made an adjustment to Luna's ultimate ability to prevent players from abusing its healing capability. So if you didn't know, there is a little trick with Luna's ult where you can basically just toggle extremely quick between the damage mode and the healing mode. So what they've basically done is they've increased the interval for switching between healing and the damage in her ultimate from 0.1 second to 0.5 seconds. So instead of being able to switch back and forth really quick, you're gonna have to wait. So there will be sort of delays. It's gonna look more like this instead of like this, where it's just super rapid. So yeah, no more spamming that to get the benefit of both damage and healing. So yeah, it looks like in that sense, I guess Luna Snow has been nerfed. Jeff the Landshark. What have they done with Jeffy boy? So for Jeff, they're sort of doing like a little, I want to call it like a little rework for his ultimate ability. So obviously it fits the warning meter that actually comes up. In addition, we'll also be increasing his healing capability. So I want to say it's like a sort of nerf and a buff at the same time. They've adjusted his ultimate. So range from 10 meter sphere to a 10 meter radius, with a 5 meter high cylindrical spell field. So before, basically, Jeff could actually swallow you if you were in the air. Yes, I remember flying up so high in the air as Strange and still getting swallowed by a Jeff ult. So yeah, it looks like that's been sort of adjusted to a 10 meter radius, which is obviously in a massive circle instead of like an actual sphere. As well, what they've also done is made it so it only goes 5 meters high this time. So 5 meters is, yeah, roughly about this far high. So as long as you are this far above the ground, from like here to here high, you can dodge a Jeff ult. I don't even know if jumping would actually stop you from getting swallowed by a Jeff ult. Maybe there needs to be some testing done with that. Cloak and Dagger. Now, Cloak and Dagger have actually received, I want to call it a buff, honestly. It looks like they're going to be receiving a buff to their healing as well as an expansion to the coverage area of their ultimate ability. So they've actually reduced the cooldown of Dagger Storm from 15 seconds to 12 seconds. So Dagger Storm is essentially the little bubble shield that comes up on the ground. This is basically getting a quicker cooldown. We actually thought that switching between Cloak and Dagger was actually quicker, but yeah, it's exactly the same. And yeah, I guess the final thing is they've increased the number of dashes in the ultimate ability from 3 to 4. Obviously, I'm still playing on the base game, so it's still 3. But when Season 1 comes out, you'll be able to do that 4 times. That's kind of nuts. Huge. All right, next up, we have Wolverine. So Logan will actually receive an increase to basic combat strength, but a slight decrease to the additional survivability after activating Undying Animal. Undying Animal will briefly decrease the incoming damage for Wolverine. Wolverine's health has been increased from 300 to 350, and they're also reducing the damage reduction ratio provided by Undying Animal from 50% to 40%. So I want to say he's sort of just been adjusted because he's sort of receiving a buff, but also a nerf at the same time. All right, next up, Winter Soldier. So they're going to be adjusting Bucky by decreasing his long-range combat strength and increasing his survivability in medium to close-range combat. They are increasing his bonus health provided by his bionic hook and tainted voltage from 30 to 40. So if you didn't know, whenever Bucky hooks a target or hits an enemy with his ability, he gets the bonus health at the bottom, as you can see. They're increasing that from 30 to 40. They're increasing Rotterdam's projectile damage from 70 to 75. So his actual gun is going to do more damage. They're reducing the area damage from 70 to 65 and reducing the damage decay from 65% at 40 meters to 60%. They're also increasing Bucky's health from 250 to 275. So he is getting a bit more tankier and a bit more stronger. Huge. Next up, we have Squirrel Girl. Now, I've seen a lot of people talking about Squirrel Girl. This is saying that this is going to make her an S tier character. And yeah, I can kind of see it. So here's what they've done with Squirrel Girl. They're increasing the threat of Doreen and her furry friends in her ultimate. Okay, so let's take a look at her ultimate real quick. So her ultimate is called Unbeatable Squirrel Tsunami. If you didn't know, it's when the squirrels just basically run rampant in front of her. They're adding a new effect to this ultimate. The squirrels will actually rush towards the nearest enemy after bouncing instead of just bouncing randomly. So as soon as they bounce one time, they're actually just going to dash to the nearest enemy. And they've also reduced the Squirrel Tsunami health from 600 to 300, so it is easier to kill. So instead of the ult just bouncing around like a Roomba, it is now going to bounce and go straight for an enemy. So yeah, if this was the old one, it will just do that. But the new one is actually going to hit a surface and bounce into an enemy. Kind of huge, because their ult was kind of bad before, I can't lie. All right, next we have Storm. Now, Storm, I hate to say it, guys, and people will still argue to this day about how I feel about Storm. She's definitely one of the worst characters in the game. You cannot deny this. And thank God she is receiving a buff, and hopefully it makes her better. She obviously needs an increase to her damage capability, so they're optimizing the feel of her left click projectile and release experience of her ultimate ability. They're increasing the wind blade projection speed from 100 meters a second to 150 meters a second, and left click damage from 50 to 55. So they're increasing this projectile speed so it goes quicker and it does more damage. Huge. They're increasing her right click ability damage from 70 to 80. And after releasing her ultimate, which is obviously the massive hurricane ability, you'll notice you get bonus health when you're casting this ultimate. As you can see, I got a 600 health. So when this ends after the new update, you will basically keep this health, which will start to decay. It won't instantly disappear. So whenever you come out of your storm melt, you'll be tanky as hell. They're also increasing the amount of health you get from casting that ultimate from 350 to 450. Following the end of it, obviously the health will no longer vanish, but it will obviously instead diminish at a rate of 100 per second. So you're not going to be invincible for a while, but you'll still have a ton of health coming out of the storm ult. I like it. Let's go. Storm buffs, just what we needed. All right, next up, the Scarlet Witch. Let's see what they're doing to the Scarlet Witch, because I would really hope to see if this is a buff or not. Right, let's take a look. We're increasing Wanda's combat strength when she's facing duelists or strategists. So they're increasing Chaos Control's fixed damage from 50 a second to 60 a second, which is her left click. So her left click is getting a nice juicy buff. They're reducing the percentage damage per second from 5% to 3%. They're also increasing her right click projectile damage from 30 to 35. So the right click here will do a bit more damage. Let's go. I'm hoping this obviously makes her good again. I played a ton of Scarlet Witch in the first beta, and I thought she was one of the coolest duelists. It's a shame she wasn't really played that much in at least most of the competitive matches that I played. I definitely really enjoy this character. The Punisher. Right. What have they done with the Punisher? So they're slightly increasing the damage capability of his weapons, and they're slightly reducing the spread of deliverance and adjudication. So it's going to be easier, I guess, to aim with the Punisher, and then obviously the spread of his shotgun will be, I guess, less spready, and yeah, in turn obviously making him a bit more stronger, hopefully. Psylocke, what are they doing with Psylocke? Let's have a look. So we'll be providing more options for other heroes to counter this Demon Slayer's ultimate. Okay, so this sounds like a nerf. So Dance of the Butterfly, her ultimate ability, will check for barriers, including Magneto's Metal Bulwark, Hulk's Indestructible Guard, etc. I wonder if this is for Strange as well. So it looks like you're not going to be able to do damage if someone is blocking. I have noticed I have been killed a few times while blocking into a Psylocke ult, and then I sort of learned my lessons, like, hey, it doesn't seem to work. But yeah, if anybody is blocking now, it seems like, yeah, it'll take this into effect and check for barriers, and maybe she won't be able to attack through barriers anymore. Unfortunate. All right, Namor. What are they doing to Namor? So they're adjusting the feel of Monstro Spawn and Frozen Spawn. Now Namor can more accurately throw them to the desired location. Yeah, so the throw ability, honestly, is really bad. Like, you could be standing here, you'll aim at the wall, and it'll go down here. I'm assuming they're just going to make that a bit quicker, so it doesn't duck down, because you sort of have to aim up here to even get it to go on the wall, and even then you have to aim really high and then like jump. So they're probably going to just speed up the E to make it a bit quicker. Doesn't seem like a buff to his damage or anything. Literally just his little egg throws. All right, let's take a look at Moon Knight. So the Hand of Khonshu will receive a slight increase to the threat of his ultimate ability. They've increased the number of talons generated by the Hand of Khonshu, his ultimate ability, from 10 to 14. So that basically means the hands that come out, instead of 10, there will be 14 that comes out. So there'll be an extra 4 that comes out. They've increased the explosion radius of each talon from 4 meters to 5 meters. So this is purely just a ultimate buff. His ultimate just got a way stronger. So his ult is definitely going to hurt now. All right, next up, we have a Magik buff. They want to increase Magik's ultimate capability. So what they've gone and done is they've buffed her Dark Child ultimate form. And this will basically increase the damage you do in Dark Child from 115 to 135. Pretty huge. So yeah, if you see a Magik ult in your face, it's gonna hurt. Even more now. All right, let's take a look at Hela. Now, it seems like Hela is obviously receiving a nerf. Like, everybody just hates this character, unfortunately. But yeah, Hela will be receiving a nerf. They're slightly decreasing her combat strength. They don't really mention any numbers. They're also reducing her health from 275 to 250. So she will pretty much die to the Black Panther one-shots and pretty much anyone that has an assassin one-shot. So I think Psylocke has one as well, and Black Panther. So rejoice, assassins, you're going to be able to just basically one-shot Hela now. All right, Hawkeye. So they're nerfing Hawkeye. They're going to be decreasing the medium long range damage capability, reducing the threatening combat radius, and slightly improving the close combat resistances for this avenging archer. So they're slightly reducing the spread angle between every 2 blast arrows. So the blast arrows are obviously his alternate shot. They're reducing the spread on this because honestly, it definitely does go way too wide. So hopefully with that, he can obviously hit more targets. They're reducing the triggering distance of his passive ability, Archery's Focus, from 60 meters to 40 meters. If you didn't know, when you aim at an enemy, you basically improve your focus, enhancing the damage you do. So the longer you, I guess, aim at an enemy, the more damage you do against the enemy. Now, the max range of this was 60 meters, so you can actually sit way far back. You do need to be a bit closer for it to activate now, which is 40 meters, so you can't be 10 miles across the map for this to activate. They've reduced the maximum additional damage of the passive from 80 to 70. Whew. Okay. All right, let's take a look at Black Widow. Now, a lot of people were calling for Black Widow buffs. Let's see if she's actually got anything decent done with her. Obviously, she needs a lot of optimization in her abilities, as well as a slight increase to the threat of her ultimate ability. Yeah, her ultimate was pretty awful. So they've increased the range of the first effect of Edge Dancer from a 3-meter radius to a 5-meter radius. So Edge Dancer is basically the kick. It will now have a larger 5-meter radius. They've reduced the time required for Fleetfoot to recover from 0 stamina to full from 12 seconds to 4 seconds. So if you didn't know, she can sprint, but it isn't unlimited. And basically the regeneration of your stamina will just be way quicker. So you can obviously sprint around a bit more. They're reducing the time required for electroplasma explosion, her ultimate ability to reach maximum power, from 1 second to 0.6 seconds. So you do need to charge it up. What they're doing with this is just making the charge up a bit quicker. So you don't need to charge it for as long to shoot it off. So yeah, nice little buff there, I think, for Black Widow. Next up, we have Black Panther. So they're slightly decreasing T'Challa's combat survivability. They're reducing the additional health provided to self after refreshing vibranium marks with Spirit Rend from 40 to 30. And the upper limit of additional health provided from 120 to 75. So yeah, I guess his self-healing and extra additional health that he gets will definitely be nerfed when he refreshes his vibranium marks. So I guess technically Black Panther will be receiving a nerf. Next up, we have Venom. So Venom is actually receiving a buff. I'm honestly, as a Vanguard main, I'm kind of happy. I'm sorry, guys. So Venom is basically a backline menace. He's meant to hit the backline, and yeah, what they're doing is they're increasing the symbiotic resilience bonus health ratio gained per lost health from 1 to 1.2. So they are full on just buffing his E ability. Basically, his E gives him a shield. The lower health you are, the more you get. And they're also increasing the Feast of the Abyss damage ultimate ability from 40 to 50. So yeah, huge damage. Also, I'm really confused because someone said his right click, the one that shoots the tendrils out, is getting buffed, but they didn't mention that at all. So I'm assuming they were wrong, or they've basically just reverted that change for the slow. All right, let's take a look at another Vanguard. We have the Hulk. So obviously Hulk is honestly extremely strong, especially if you play this guy with Strange. They're reducing the indestructible guard gamma shield value for Hero Hulk from 250 to 200. So this shield here that he can give teammates is being reduced down to 200 health. So yeah, I guess it was a bit strong. Next up, we have Thor, the God of Thunder. They said he could receive some increased survivability and improved success rate to his ultimate ability. So what they're doing is they're increasing Thor's base health from 500 to 525. Obviously, his health has been increased because of, I guess, the team up and the season bonus. So this will probably be 625. They've also added immunity to control effects during the God of Thunder ultimate ability. So you can no longer be CC'd while in your ultimate, or I guess less CC. So good news. All right, let's take a look at Doctor Strange. I think the character I have the most hours on is Doctor Strange. Let's see what they're doing with my boy. So they're going to be reducing the threat range and increasing the defense window of the Sorcerer Supreme. So they've added a damage fall off to Maelstrom of Madness and Gamma Maelstrom, starting at 5 meters and reducing to 70% at 8 meters. So yeah, it does look like his E ability, if you're not right in his face, will have reduced damage. Obviously, the further away you are. They're slightly decreasing the shield value recovery rate after releasing the shield of Seraphim from 80 a second to 70 a second. So it doesn't look like you can do the spammy that much anymore. Because what a lot of Doctor Strangers do, I guess, in High Healer, they do this. Look, they attack, block, attack, block, attack, block. And this is basically what you do as Strange. As well, you can do stuff like left click melee shield, stuff like this. So they're making it so you can't have this invincible 800 health wall shield in front of you, which is good, I guess, because it was honestly a bit broken, I can't lie. And then finishing up with Captain America. What are they doing to Steve Rogers? So they're reducing the delay time for the shield restoration after releasing Living Legend from 3 seconds to 2 seconds. So as soon as you block with your shield and put it down, obviously it's going to restore a bit quicker. They're reducing Liberty Rush cooldown from 12 seconds to 10 seconds. So his little shield charge ability will receive a little cooldown reduction. They're increasing his base health from 650 to 675. And finally, they're reducing the energy cost for releasing Freedom Charge, his ultimate ability, from 3,400 to 3,100. And they're also reducing the additional health provided per second to self after releasing it from 110 to 100. Yeah. So it looks like Captain America is receiving a hefty buff, along with Venom, obviously Thor, and it seems like Doctor Strange and Hulk are receiving the nerfs, unfortunately. Well, I almost forgot to throw this in, but it looks like they have changed, or I guess updated, some of the team up abilities. So Hawkeye and Black Widow, to further tone down Hawkeye's oppression, will be reducing the seasonal buff that he gets. They're reducing Hawkeye's season bonus from 20% to 15%. Yeah, I think we pretty much knew this. Hela, Thor, and Loki, much like Hawkeye, Hela's overwhelming power will be receiving a slight reduction. They're reducing Hela's season bonus from 20% to 15%. Yep. Luna Snow and Namor will be increasing the threat of Namor's frozen spawn, increasing the frozen spawn damage from 25 to 27. They're also increasing the frozen spawn slowing effect applied to hit enemies from 25% to 30%. They're also increasing the Berserk State frozen spawn damage from 16 to 18. And then for Rocket Raccoon, the Punisher, and Winter Soldier, one of Rocket's best tools will be available more often. So they're reducing the cooldown of the ammo invention from 45 seconds to 40 seconds. Scarlet Witch and Magneto team up, a bit underwhelming. The damage capabilities of this father-daughter team-up ability will be enhanced. So they're increasing the metallic fusion projectile damage from 55 to 60. They're also increasing the metallic fusion spell field from 30 to 35. Thor, Storm, and Captain America will be enhancing the damage capabilities of Storm's side of this team-up ability. They're reducing the cooldown of Charged Gale from 20 seconds to 15 seconds, and also increasing the damage of Charged Gale from 50 to 55. Okay, so that's pretty much all of the team-up abilities. Once again, if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to send it to a friend so you can just show them the new changes. Obviously, we have timestamps below. Like the video, leave a comment, make sure to subscribe to enter the latest giveaways. And I will see you guys in my next video, guys. Peace.